I don't have male privilege. Trans femmes like me, regardless of what we were assigned at birth or how society attempted to condition us, do not have male privilege. We're not men. You can't have male privilege if you're not a man, right? If I'm being afforded male privilege in any setting, it's because I'm being misgendered. And if you understood the mental health toll it takes on people like me to be misgendered, you would see it's not a privilege at all. To be misgendered is to incur harm, which is the opposite of privilege. Personally, there are some select instances in which I choose to pass as a man for my own safety. It's horrible and I hate it, but sometimes I have to do it because I know that being misgendered, as harmful as that is, may be safer than what would happen if people knew who I actually was.
Okay, Jamie said, there are some select instances where I choose to pass as a man for my own safety. That sentence right there is male privilege. I don't know how else to say it. You are literally using the system that is designed for men to make sure you're safe and you do not incur harm. Women cannot do that. It's, well, okay. Whew. I grew up as a boy and I spent 27 years as a boy and then into a man. And I did have male privilege. At the time, I didn't know it because I was in it. But now I'm transitioned. Looking back, I can see that I did. One of the most clear examples of male privilege is being alone at night. But being out in the world at night time, presenting as a woman or being perceived that way, that is completely different to being perceived as a man. If I was in a hoodie and joggers with my old facial hair and short hair, I felt so much safer than I do now. I understand they don't want the privilege, but they're admitting to having it in the video by saying that they use it. They use a system for their benefit. Obviously, I understand why. For the safety element, I do appreciate that. It's also what the world sees. We gender people immediately with our eyes. Within 0.03 seconds, we gender people. And that is, again, a safety thing. Women do it. And sorry, I don't want to sound like a mansplaining. That's the last thing I would ever want to do. I've noticed more now when I'm out in a situation where I'm alone, I gender people and I make note if there are men around. That fear that I have now, I did not have that 3 years ago. And obviously I've only dealt with it for 3 years. Women have been dealing with this for thousands of years. There is also the counterpoint where I'm going to somewhat agree with Jamie, and that is when you're a visible trans person, that does make you more of a target. For some people, male privilege was never an option. Women, I'm talking about women. I think to experience that side of the coin and then to go to the other one, it's very interesting from like a social perspective. It's also terrifying because then I have now a glimpse into what women deal with on a daily basis.